Hey guys, this is Haley with Domestic Goddess Designs. This is my tutorial for a tropical sunset silhouette epoxy tumbler made with only alcohol inks. Let's jump right in. I'm starting off with a skinny tumbler from Makerflo. I've got Sun Bright Yellow from Pinata, Sapphire Blue from Pinata, and Pink from Pinata. I also have Tim Holtz Pool. I've got 3 well-loved, well-used paintbrushes and this little palette I got from the Dollar General that obviously I use a lot as well. I'm going to start off first with my Sun Bright Yellow, and I go from the very middle and I start off with the lightest color. I don't want anything really blending with this too much. This is going to be the start of my sunset. Now when making these tumblers, it's important to remember what colors mix with other colors to make new colors. So from here, I'm going to go in and add my pink next to my yellow. Unless you're wanting to make green, do not put the blue next to the yellow. I'm sure there is green in sunsets, but it's not my favorite color of a sunset, especially a tropical one. So here I'm trying to make orange. There's not just a ton of rhyme and reason as to why I'm putting which colors where. It doesn't super matter as long as you don't add a lot of your darker colors around. I tend to like to use lighter colors on these cups because they are going to mix together and darken. So I don't like to add like sapphire blue all over the cup because it's going to end up being really dark. Now I'm going in with Tim Holtz Pool, and I'm just adding it all around the cup. Again, no certain rhyme or reason, I'm just not touching the yellow with it. Ah, you see I almost did. Thankfully I caught myself or I'd have been really mad. And the cool thing about this cup is too, if you mess it up, it's really not that big of a deal. Take some 91% alcohol, douse the cup with it, wipe it down, maybe throw a little bit more spray paint, white spray paint over it, and just redo it. It's really not that big of a deal. All right, here's some Sapphire Blue, and I'm adding it just right to the top because I want my sunset to darken as it goes up. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. And I know it sounds crazy, but by this point, I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna let this cup sit and dry for like 20 minutes, and then we're gonna go into our next step. All right, here I've got over the sink, I've got some 91% alcohol. I put it in a little squeeze bottle though, just so I can control it a little bit better. I've got 3 well-loved brushes. I use a lot in case I need to do some touch-ups. All right, do not over douse your cup with alcohol. Do not do it. So here I just let it rotate and I hose it down 3 times, not even a lot. Putting too much alcohol will ruin this cup really quickly. So just be patient, let the alcohol turn, let it move the inks around. Okay, so you can see a spot forming right there around the yellow that just alcohol really didn't get to, so it's not moving, it's kind of white. No big deal, I'll fix that in a second. I'm going to show you how. So you're just going to take your yellow paintbrush and barely kind of dab it right there. But if the spot continues to be stubborn and still doesn't have any color in it, you can take your alcohol and just kind of pour it onto your brush, as I'm about to do here in just a second, and dab that spot. Just don't douse your cup with alcohol again, unless you're wanting to wash it off and start over. That's fine. All right, so here I just kind of dab it on there and I leave it alone and let it work itself out. I don't love the very top. I put that Sapphire Blue up there because I wanted it to kind of darken as it goes to the very, very top of the color. So I'm gonna take a little bit of alcohol on a brush and just dab the top of it to kind of disperse that blue down a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let my cup dry. I waited until the next day and then I went in with my epoxy. And as you can see, if you let it dry all the way, nothing's gonna move. Using my torch to pop any bubbles. Now I'm going in, after it's dried for about 10 hours, I'm gonna decal it. So this one I'm gonna cut in half. Here's my base. And I've got all my little tropical trees there. I just got them off Clip Art. Cricut Design Space has a lot of really good ones. This one's just a mountain scene with some grass. I mean, you know, I didn't buy these anywhere, I just kind of made them. They're nothing special, honestly. They took me like 3 minutes to make. All right, I'm wrapping around the base of my tumbler because the bottom of the sunset where it's blue again, I'm using it as a reflection of water. Now, the bottoms of these do not need to line up perfectly. Don't freak out if you've got little tiny air bubbles or seams. Black vinyl is wonderful in that it really doesn't show a whole lot of stuff under some epoxy. Okay, getting my palm trees ready. Just going over this with some transfer tape. And there's, you know, you can put your palm trees wherever you want on the cup. Whatever makes you happy. Black vinyl is awesome under epoxy. I mean, it shows not a whole lot of stuff. I mean, if I was using chrome silver to do these, obviously I would not be slapping these on like this, but the black, it works pretty nice. Okay, so now this is just like a top of a palm tree that I cut the stem off. I guess not the stem, what is it, the trunk? And I'm cut it straight in half because I wanted to put this at the very top to kind of make it look like there's a really big palm tree that's close and kind of going over. If you don't like blocking the sky, absolutely don't do this. I mean, even when I did it and I was finished with it, I wasn't sure if I really loved it or not. So if I made the cup again, I may not do this step, but okay. Now that our decals are all done, it's time to address the bottom. I've got some Manilla Black by Pinata, and I just douse the whole bottom of the cup with it, take a paper towel, and start blotting. It'll need a couple of coats of this black, but you want to let it dry in between layers. The hardest part's getting right up beside that seam. Alright, I let it dry and then I go in with some epoxy. My camera, y'all, you know, and I can't see the video while I'm recording, so I don't know if my camera moves. I mean, watch this thing move all around. I don't know if I'm like lazy leaning on it. I don't know. I think it's just moving, honestly. I don't know. So sorry if my cup shifts around in the picture, you know, whatever. All right, here's me torching it, and then about, I don't know, 10 or 12 hours later, I'm gonna go in and clean the rim. So I haven't made a cup in a really long time, so I can't find any of my tools. So excuse me for using this large, sharp knife to clean the top of it. Really, there's not a lot of epoxy. I didn't need to do that. I could have just taken my sanding block and fixed it, but you know, whatever, I didn't. So very, very, very lightly sand that part. I mean, I put no pressure on that. Going in with this round of epoxy. This can be your last layer of epoxy. I tend to like to put a third layer. I don't show it in the video just because I mean, I've already shown 2 layers. Y'all don't want to watch me put a third one on. It's all good. But I put this layer on, I pop my bubbles, and then I put a third layer on, and this baby was good to go. Because there's no glitter or anything, as long as your decals don't stick straight up, there shouldn't really be any sanding involved in this one. Except cleaning up that top rim. And y'all, after this dries, as long as your final layer is good, I mean, this cup's pretty much done. All right, cup's all done. Time for the photo shoot. This one turned out really pretty. I really enjoyed making it for you guys. Here's a couple of other designs that I did. This one was a tropical theme. And then I also did a forest with a lake underneath. I think turned out really pretty too. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really enjoy making these videos for you when I get to. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe to me whenever I post my next video. And you guys have a great rest of your day.